Welcome to Fan for Racing Radio. I am Fan for Racing Sharon, and joining me today is Jay Huseman, and we're here for the Nashville preview for the ARCA East Series. And normally we get right into what our preview is, but I do have some notes that I want to share with everybody with regard to the Xfinity Series. We've already put that video out. And then while we were doing the video, they came out with news that Connor Zilisch is not racing in the Xfinity Series at Texas Motor Speedway this weekend as a result of this wreck at Talladega. He had a back injury that is preventing him from racing. Kyle Larson is going to take his seat at Texas Motor Speedway. So that was pretty big news. Jay?
It was, and the good thing here is on X, I saw that Junior Motorsports had already received approval for Connor Zilisch waiver for the playoffs, being that he is going to miss a race. That was a change they made, that if it was for a medical like that, and this one was directly race related,
Yes.
The race he belonged in, I know going back all the way back to Kyle Busch, that one was questionable because he got hurt in an Xfinity race, but it affected his Cup eligibility. But they're pretty liberal with that, and I think they should be. And I think go back to credit it to Dale Jr., the first one to truly step out of the car and say, "Hey, I'm not right, and it's not worth the risk." That they said, "Okay, we need to look at doing something different than putting our drivers at risk, trying to ensure they start the race when they're not medically ready." So I applaud NASCAR for that, and the teams for doing the right thing.
Absolutely. And Kyle Larson's already said he likes coming down to the Xfinity Series. So it'll be kind of interesting to see what he does in Connor Zilisch's car this weekend.
Well, and on Sirius XM today, it was somebody called in and said, "Hey, somebody needs to get him a truck ride so you can take a shot at the triple again." Texas being another one that Kyle Busch has tried. Yeah. He's not on the entry list at this point for the Truck Series. I don't know if that's even possible to at this point. Although they got room, we talked about that. They have room, yes. So
they do. Well, you never know. There may be more late breaking news. We'll have to keep our eye to that. But we wanted to make sure we told everybody about it. We could not include it in our Xfinity preview because it was news that came out after we had already done the show. So I wanted to make sure we led off with our next video, which is our, it is our Nashville preview for the ARCA East Series racing out at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway this weekend. And Jay, it's I know you've probably already looked at the entry list and some of the names that we have there.
Yeah, for the ARCA Menard East Series here, I didn't do a count. Let me see if I can do that real quick. Looks like it's coming close to 20. I don't have the exact number, but a good field. Now, keep in mind this is a standalone race. I was surprised to maybe see there weren't a few more of the main ARCA Menard Series drivers maybe come down and do that. But again, you got to appreciate they want to enjoy their time off. Takuma Koga coming from the West Series. Max Reeves is going to be back with Joe Gibbs Racing. I think Tyler Reif is actually running the full East Series. I don't know 100% on that. Cole Razin, I got a little bit of a soft spot there, as that's a Kevin Sawinski car. Let's see who else. And I know we'll get into some more of these as we go through the news and notes. And there was another one, and it's the second or third time I've seen him. I wish I could give more information on him. Austin Vaughn comes from Burnsville, Mississippi, and I didn't even actually look up where Burnsville is, but somewhere down here by me.
That's in your neck of the woods for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, and we do have a few people. Rita Goulet is going to be behind the wheel of that Hillenberg machine, the number 1. So yeah, we'll probably get into it as we talk about the notes. From Sparta, Tennessee, Quinn Davis. He's someone new this year. So yeah, it's going to be fun. to watch this race. But let's go ahead and get into our news and notes here for the ARCA Menard Series.
All right. Well, the ARCA Menard Series East is heading to the Nashville Fairgrounds for their third race of the 2025 season. It's Saturday's Music City 150. It'll be the seventh time the East Series has raced at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway since 2007.
Okay, now some previous East winners at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway include Rogelio Lopez. He won in 2007. Matt Kobielek in 2008. You'll recognize this name from the Xfinity Series. Sammy Smith won there in 2021 and 22. Luke Fenhouse in 2023. And William Sawalich, also from the Xfinity Series, won there just last year. So some interesting names on that wins list.
Certainly is, and that tells you again. I'll talk about it a little more later in the show as we wrap up. But moving on, we got Joe Gibbs Racing. They're going to look to continue its dominance of both the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway and the 2025 ARCA Menard Series East, as they got 15-year-old Max Reeves in the number 18 Cookout Toyota this weekend. He's back at the wheel for the first time since the season opener at Five Flags Speedway. Now, Reeves started from the General Tire pole and led 92 laps en route to the victory in his first career series start. At the second race of the season 2 weeks ago at Rockingham, JGR drivers Brent Cruz and William Sawalich combined to lead every lap, with pole winner Cruz winning and two-time East champion Sawalich in second. Now, the JGR number 18 has won 3 of the 4 most recent East races at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Mentioned the 2 with Sammy Smith. Once while the team was listed as Kyle Busch Motorsports, but it really still was Joe Gibbs behind the drive of it. And then William Sawalich driving, and the only lost the 4th on a last lap pass. So they've really pretty much owned Nashville Speedway.
Yes, they have. And how dominant has Joe Gibbs Racing, number 18 team, been at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway? Well, the team's average finish is a 1.25 over the last 4 races at that track. Their average start is 1.75, and the team has led 606 of a possible 755 laps there. So I would say, Jay, is probably a good choice to pick a JGR car for this weekend.
Well, certainly, and especially with a phenom like Max Reeves, again, 15 years old, wanting his first start. So that's a good combination to have there.
It is indeed.
Now, some of them that'll be trying to fight them off, though, that'll be Isaac Kitzmiller. He's going to be in the number 79 ALL Construction Chevrolet as he leads the ARCA Menard Series East standings into the Music City 150. Now, Kitzmiller is the 16-year-old son, he's an old-timer, of ARCA Menard Series championship contender Jason Kitzmiller. He started the season with a 5th-place finish at Five Flags Speedway, and then a 6th place at the most recent series race at Rockingham Speedway.
Okay, now Cole Raz, and he drives that number 76 Cyclone Next Gen Travel Centers Ford. He is second in the series standings. He's just 3 points behind Kitzmiller. And Raz, who won the ARCA Menard Series West race at Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway last year, finished second in the season opener at Five Flags Speedway and 7th at Rockingham. So those are other drivers that I'm sure will be challenging the JGR car.
Another one you certainly got to look at is Tyler Reif in the number 23 Sigma Performance Series Chevrolet. He enters the Music City 150, 3rd in the series standings. Reif, who won twice last year en route to the ARCA Menard Series West Owners Championship for Central Coast Racing, finished 3rd at Five Flags, but was relegated to 17th at Rockingham after a mid-race brush with the wall.
Okay, now another driver who is in the top 5 of the series point standings is Zachary Tinkle. He drives the number 11 Racing for Rescue's Fast Track High Performance Racing Toyota. He's fourth in the standings, exactly where he has finished in the standings in each of the last two seasons. So Tinkle finished 10th at Five Flags and 11th at Rockingham, but he finished a career best fourth place at Nashville in 2024. So I'm sure he's looking to better that performance at Nashville. He may be a strong contender as well.
Now, a quick look at the record book. You got William Sawalich as he holds the ARCA Menard Series East track qualifying record at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. It was set in 2023 at 19.414 seconds. And that equals 110.512 miles per hour.
Yes. And Sammy Smith holds the ARCA Menard Series East track race record at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. That was set in 2021 at 91.438 miles per hour.
Now, if you want to catch the Music City All 150, first off, try and go to the track. But if you can't, it will be streamed live on Flow Racing on Saturday, starting at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time or 8:30 p.m. Central. You got live timing and scoring data from all on-track activity and live race audio available at arcaracing.com. You can also follow at ARCA Racing on X, which is formerly Twitter, for up-to-the-minute updates and other information.
Okay, so really exciting race, I think, coming up for the ARCA Menard Series. And we like to encourage fans to visit the ARCA site. They do have the entry list up there and some great news stories. They're talking about Music City Max and Joe Gibbs Racing with Max Reeve. We were already talking about how great Joe Gibbs Racing's performance is at that track. But if you want to know more about Max Reeves, he's among the favorites at that race this weekend. How to watch the East Series return to Fairgrounds Speedway. Jay's already mentioned it, but I want to give you a little bit more information about the actual track. It's a 0.596 mile asphalt oval that is at that track. They will be racing 150 laps to cover a distance of 89.4 miles. And like they said, you can watch it on Flow Racing and arcaracing.com. We'll have updates from the track. So, and again, that race is on Saturday night. Nothing better than a Saturday night race, Jay.
Certainly not, especially at Nashville. And this is where I said I'd come back to this. I really would love to see the ARCA Menard Series East there. I was there for the All-American 400, which is a late model race at that track. And I tell you what, that is a great facility, and those late models put on a great show. So I can only imagine the excitement of the ARCA Menard Series East there.
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. Flow Racing does a really good job with that too, of covering the races and everything that goes on there. I also want to make sure we mention there were some penalties coming out of Talladega and the race there. There were 4 different penalties that came out of that race.
You mentioned great articles at the ARCA Menard Series homepage. I said, well, I don't know if this one's a great one, but it is informative. So we'll go ahead and share it with you. Based on technical and safety inspections and on-track activities at the General Tire 200 ARCA Menard Series race at Talladega Super Speedway on April 25th and 26th, 4 teams have been penalized for violations of the 2025 ARCA rulebook. And I'll start with Crew Chief Larry Belsidis of the Venturini Motorsports, number 55, has been fined $3,500, placed on probation for the remainder of the 2025 season, and driver Isabella Robusto, as well as owner Billy Venturini, have been penalized with the loss of 18 championship points for the ARCA Menard Series. in addition to applicable special awards points. 2 infractions were found from the ARCA rulebook, section 20C-3.2.3, which references the NACA duct vent and airflow, and for Talladega event ARCA Technical Bulletin 32925, number 11, which references spring seat mounts.
So it looks like it was a double penalty there for 2 different infractions. The next one is Crew Chief Jim Long from Nitro Motorsports, and the number 46 has been fined $2,500 and placed on probation for the remainder of the 25 season. That's for driver Thad Moffitt and owner Nick Tucker have been penalized with the loss of 12 championship points in the ARCA Menard Series, in addition to applicable special award points. The infraction was for the ARCA Rulebook Section 20C-12.8.1, body height, which references minimum and maximum roof heights. So that was the second penalty, and there are 2 more.
We got driver Garrett Mitchell, or as Sharon pointed out, he goes by the pseudonym, I guess, of Cletus McFarlane, internet sensation, from the Rhett Jones Racing number 30. He's been fined $5,000, remains on probation for the remainder of the 2025 season, and is required to complete driver safety training as directed by ARCA. It's for his second violation of section 20C-17, which references driver personal safety equipment.
Okay. And our last one here is for Crew Chief Kevin Ingram of the Moyer Petronero Racing, number 88. And they've been fined $1,000 and placed on probation for the remainder of the 2025 season for violating 20C-17.4, the window net, which references safety equipment SF1 specifications and label. So 4 violations from Talladega. That's highly unusual for the ARCA Menard Series, Jay.
It really has. I know we talked about it in some of the other series, but we don't normally see a whole lot from the ARCA Menard Series. And it goes back to some of these teams really can't afford that kind of hit. I'm not sure what the issue was there at Talladega, but I think of the movie Liar, Liar with Jim Carrey, where he says, stop breaking the law, stop breaking the rules.
Yes, that is important. It is not the hip thing to do to be breaking the rules. So, yeah, we'll have to see what happens. They say 2 drivers, Quinn Davis and Jeff McConey, are scheduled to make their ARCA platform debuts. So we've got a couple of debuting drivers this week. And then there's also a pair of Nashville favorites in Hunter Wright and Jackson McLaren. They'll be among the competitors as teammates out of the Man Motorsports stable. Brian Finney, who last competed in the ARCA platform in 2020, is set to return to competition in a car out of his own stable. So that gives you just a little bit of an idea of people that we haven't yet mentioned, I don't believe, that are on that entry list. Any other notes here that you want to make sure should we cover the points?
Again, it starts with Isaac Kitzmiller at 77 points, 2 races, 1 top 5, 2 top 10s at 77 points. 3 points back is Cole Raz, almost identical stat line there of 1 top 5 and 2 top 10s. Then you got Tyler Reif at 68, Zachary Tinkle at 67, Takuma Koga at 62. 1 point behind him, Timmy Hill, and I don't remember seeing his name on that entry list.
No, I don't think he was on the entry list.
That's too bad. He was supposed to run the whole season, I thought. Then in 7th, you got the Burnsville, Mississippi driver Austin Vaughn at 60, London McKenzie at 53, Max Reeves at 49, and he's only got 1 race in, but it was a victory, as well as Brent Cruz in 10th, 1 start, 1 win. Both of those at 49 points apiece. So again, Brent Cruz not on the entry list.
Max is, but not Brent. You're right. You had any favorites? I know it's a silly question because it's pretty obvious who the favorite is going into this race.
You know, yeah, I would have to put it as the favorite of Max Reeves. However, again, I think Tyler Reif is really going to give him a run for his money.
I think Raz could as well.
That was going to be my other one. But then you also got Isaac Kitzmiller. It would depend on where they feel they're at. Again, if they're looking big term championship, and I don't know how many races Max Reeves is planning on running, but it might depend on then how hard they push. If it's somebody that's only making a few starts, and Isaac Kitzmiller is up there with them. But we know drivers, if you're up front, you got a shot at the win. Yeah, big picture and everything else kind of goes out the window.
Yep, that's without a doubt. Well, that pretty much concludes what we have for you for the Nashville preview for the ARCA East Series. We do have more coming soon, though. We already have out the previews for the Truck Series that's racing on Friday night. Also, the Xfinity Series that's racing earlier in the day on Saturday. This, of course, is the ARCA East Series racing at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday night. And then next up is our Cup Series preview for Texas Motor Speedway. And, of course, on Monday, we will be back for our reviews of all of these races, as well as for our Hot Topic Sound Off segment that starts at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, and 7 o'clock Pacific Time, where we discuss all the hot topics from the weekend of racing. But I got to tell you, Jay, I've been making a list. I've got a list here already of hot topics.
All right, good deal, good deal.
So there's quite a few things for us to talk about with regard to some of the things that are happening in our NASCAR world.
Do I have to file a preliminary injunction on any of those on your list?
Please, I hope not.
No, I just figure that might be one or two of them that are on the list,
Well,
but I know
it is.
Yeah, see.
So yeah, we've
there's your teaser.
We probably won't be able to talk about all of the hot topics. We'll have to probably pick and choose. So anyway, be sure to join us next week as we review these shows and talk about all those hot topics. Also, we want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in. We always appreciate it that you take the time to hear what we have to say. We have a lot of fun doing these, and we hope you enjoy them as much as we enjoy doing them. And Jay, any final words here before we move on?
No, like I said, if you get the chance, attend a race. If it's not the ARCA Menard Series East, any of the late model races at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, highly recommend it.
Absolutely. It's always fun to be out at the racetrack, especially on a Saturday night. So with that, we'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.